So this is actually the third movie I've watched today, but it's my first new to me because I'm an animal. Earlier today, I watched The Breaking Point, which is fantastic, and live tweeted Holiday Affair. And if you missed that, check back next year because I intend to live tweet that every year until it is everyone's favorite holiday movie. Um, but my new to me watching today on Watch TCM was 1940's The Mark of Zorro, which is directed by Rouben Mamoulian and stars Tyrone Power as the titular Zorro. So Zorro was first brought into life in 1919 by Johnston Macaulay in a serialized story called The Curse of Capistrano. Obviously, the next year, you had the 1920 Douglas Fairbanks version of Zorro, um, which I happen to love and have seen in the big screen several times. And if you have not seen that film, do check it out. It is fantastic. It has some of the best set decorations of all time. In this version, we have, again, Tyrone Power in the lead, as well as Linda Darnell and Basil Rathbone as the villain. And it is so good. I think it's got to be really hard to mess up Zorro. And I will ride or die for the Catherine Zeta-Jones, Antonio Banderas version because I loved that movie as a young teen. But this version is also great. This is, I believe, the first talkie version. Tyrone Power is like at the height of his game in this. He is charming as Don Diego. He is sassy as all hell as Zorro. No, he's sassy and charming as Zorro. He's smug little shit as Don Diego, but like to the point that you love him. And as has been pointed out many times, Zorro was sort of an inspiration for Bruce Wayne and Batman, and you can see it in several modern adaptations of Batman. The way that the little shit that Bruce Wayne is, like especially Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne, is very similar to Tyrone Powers' Don Diego in this film. You just want to slap him, but you know that he's actually a nice dude, and that he's just putting on this persona so that people don't think that he would, by any chance, be Zorro, the man who's taking the money from the rich and giving it back to the poor, which again is a bit of a ripoff of Robin Hood. This film, this 1940 version, was actually Fox's answer to MGM's Robin Hood, and they even had Basil Rathbone as the villain in this, just like he was in that one. And you can kind of see the similarities in the pacing and the action and the romance and all of that, but it's okay. It's fine. It's lovely. I enjoyed every last minute of this film. It also has some great supporting performances from Gail Sondengard, and various other people whose names I could tell you, but you wouldn't recognize them, except maybe Eugene Pallett. I think everyone knows Eugene Pallett. He's a sassy friar. But there's a bunch of great supporting performances in this film. I did not say the plot, sorry. I feel like everyone knows the plot of Zorro, but basically, Tyrone Power is Don Diego. He has come back from Spain to California. This is 1820s California. His father used to be like basically the governor, but since he's been gone, his father has had it taken away from him, and a sort of puppet governor is in, while a captain played by Basil Rathbone is sort of pulling all the strings and they're basically taxing people at too high of a rate and taking all the money. And so he comes in as Zorro to come in and sort of be an outlaw who takes the money back and gives it back to the people, and does what he needs to do to make sure that the regular ass people aren't, one, charged too many taxes, and two, killed and or dismembered when they try to speak up against this unfair balance of power. He also falls in love with the niece of the new evil governor, played by Linda Darnell, and plots to marry her, even though he really just wants to marry her because he loves her, but plots to marry her in order to sort of manipulate the governor and the governor's wife. There's a great fencing sequence at the end between him and Basil Rathbone. There's also some homoeroticism. It's pretty much everything you really want in a movie. My only complaint is that Linda Darnell really doesn't get to do enough, and that's where the 90s Zorro really lets that character do a lot more, and so that's kind of why I love that. But anyways, if you love Zorro, you'll love this movie. It's fantastic. Uh, let's see, 1940, Rouben Mamoulian. I don't know what else to say. It's just fantastic. I love Tyrone Power. He's so charming. I know I said that already, but he's so charming in this movie. Ugh, he's so charming in all his movies, pretty much, except Nightmare Alley, where he's just a jerk. But I love Tyrone Power. I've yet to see a movie with him where I didn't like him. He's just endlessly, endlessly charming. So this is 1940s The Mark of Zorro. I recommend it. It's expiring on Watch TCM soon, but it is on DVD, so you can track it down, watch it, enjoy it. Find me on Twitter if you have questions about Tyrone Power and movies that you want that you should watch, because I have many suggestions and I can tell them all to you. Anyways, have a good Sunday.